Well, it's everyone's Matt Mrozek, and this will be work in progress number 6 on the Hellboys. I was off in my numbering when I was talking in my videos yesterday because I had started these before Christmas while I was waiting for parts for my spray booth, and I got confused with the numbering. So I say something in the video, but it's different. So this is number 6 yesterday, and I uploaded 3 videos yesterday, so I now have 5 videos in this build series uploaded. And if you've watched those yet or haven't had a chance to, this is where I am right now. Yesterday, it took me, again, most of the day to get the red all sprayed and kind of shaded and stuff after I did my initial base coating and stuff the prior day. And these look really, really good. So, and they all are very similar. So, you know, they're slightly different as far as like intensity and stuff, but for the most part, they're good. They're about the same. And so the last thing I did last night is I want to kind of hit the veins a little bit, which I did not do on the first Hellboy I did. But it looked really good on the Hulk, so I went back in last night and did the veins a little bit, and then I top coated it with Krylon matte finish, and I really like it. I'm going to have to find a different solution for spraying battle cans in my spray booth, unfortunately, because it just can't handle the amount of volume that a spray booth puts out. And my previous booth had the same problem. Even with that big 260 or 465 CFM motor, it can't suck it out fast enough. So I'm either going to put like a bathroom vent or something in the ceiling and vent that out. But I'll figure it out. But just to kind of show you what these are looking like right now, I'll just put one together, but they're all, you know, very similar. Let's do let's bring this. We'll do Leo's because he's the one that he's been bugging me nonstop. Just kidding. He's a lot better this time around than he was the first time. But then again, it was the first time I did anything for him. So here is where we are. Got the tail in. The pants have all pinned in everything with all the pouches and everything. I think I showed that already. Here is the torso for Leo. Leo's Hellboy. And I'm not gonna put it down all the way. There's a pin in there, and I just don't want to have to kind of wiggle it back and forth to get it out right now. It's a good tight fit. And now on the camera, he's looking shiny. He's not shiny. He's actually kind of a satin finished, which looks really good. You know, it's not completely flat. It's got a little bit of a sheen to it. And this light's washing out some of my shading, so it's just what it is what it is. And then let's throw the horns on there. I have one of his horns got quite a bit of dust in it when I was spraying it yesterday, so I'm going to have to wet sand that and polish it out. And I'll show you how to do that later. Even though these have cured overnight, I still would like them to dry at least another day or so before I try to wet sand them, because I put this clear coat on fairly wet and thick. And now that I'm looking at it, yep, I mean I have to wet sand these. When I was spraying, I saw dust, but now I'm looking at it and it's not showing up. So the clear coat must have, I put enough clear coat on to hide it. So as I was mentioning before, there's dust in all my pieces, no matter who I've built them for or what. It just, by the time you top coat and everything, a lot of times it doesn't stick out. Sometimes I'll have to go back and do a little cleanup, you know, sanding and stuff. But so here's the one that we fixed the other day because the peg was all kind of wonky. Let's see if this comes out. So there's that. So that's a really nice contrast between the shiny horns and the kind of satin matte finish of the body. That if you don't like that, you don't like fried chicken on Sunday. That's a southern saying if you never heard it before. But yeah, really looks really good. We'll throw the gun hand in there just for the hell of it. Obviously the glove and the gun have not been painted yet, but that's how that looks. And then we'll throw the open hand on there too, just for the sake of it. I'm not going to throw the cut-off horns on there right now, but just to give you a sense of what these guys are looking like. I mean, come on. He's looking really good. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to paint the hair on all these guys. Again, I got a late start today. I actually woke up early. I'm actually have a vacation day today, but unfortunately, people know my cell phone number and they've been texting me all day for pictures that I shot for work. So my vacation day has been kind of shot. That's what happens when you're on salary. You're on call. It's no big deal. I was able to work in my PJs, which is always a plus. I haven't got dressed yet, so that's pretty cool. All right. So just like I did with, what was the last one I did? Hulk. I'm going to use game color black. And I need to get some of these paints. I really like, man, these things brush really, really nicely. They cover extremely well. I need to go get myself a bunch of those for hand painting. I just dig them. I need to get myself a nice set of like Vallejo, hand painting paints. The Garage Kit's colors are really, really good for airbrushing, but they're fairly thin, so I don't usually hand paint them because it takes too long. So I got myself a little paper plate here. Just get to squirt some of this on the paper plate. I don't thin it, just straight from the bottle. Hopefully this won't take too long. I say that on everything, but again, I'm slow. So this has been nice and cured, so I can handle it really well. But that shading looks good. So if you saw the last video, after I sprayed that bread GX bread, all the shading kind of, unless you saw it in person, it would look like it had no shading whatsoever. But similar to the Hulk, after I got everything done, you can see all the way down back to that first shading I did. So, again, it's a lot of work and it's a lot of steps, but in the end, it's worth it because you're getting all that depth in your piece. Again, if I was just to spray red and start adding shadows to it, it'd look okay, but it wouldn't look nearly as cool, nearly as fleshy. I got a lot of compliments on the Hulk because not only was he green, but it looked like flesh, just not like a guy that was painted green. All right, so we're going to start with the beard. And again, I'll probably just do one on camera and then time-lapse the other ones. So let's see, just get a black. And I'm going to get my Optivisor on, 1 second, so I can see what I'm doing better. I need to get a better one. This is the cheapie I got, I think, at Harbor Freight. Need to invest in a good Optivisor. Something with a... I like something, if they make something with glass lenses, that'd be awesome. These are plastic and they get dusty and they're really hard to clean. What do I do without my glasses on? Let's see. Or do I use glasses? I don't remember. Okay. I wear bifocals. So, depending on how I tilt my head, depends on where I can see. Alright, so I'm going to start. Let's get this light so you guys can see what I'm doing. And I'd like to thank everyone for the awesome compliments I've been getting on my videos. There are a few of those who think that I post too much and I share too much. I'm not going to name names, but you know what? If you don't want to read my posts or watch my videos, don't read my posts or watch my videos. It's that simple. I don't read stuff I don't want to read and watch stuff I don't want to watch. But for those guys who are watching and asking questions, I appreciate it. And again, the Hellboys, I've done this before, so this really isn't a whole learning experience. But like the Hulk, man, that whole kit was a learning experience. So I welcome critique and criticism, anything to make my work better. So bring it on. You're not going to hurt my feelings. There were some comments on Hulk's teeth, which I tend to agree. I think the son who wanted clean teeth, so we left them clean. But I would have personally maybe like to see a little yellow on him, but we're going to visit that at another time maybe. He's going to look at it for a while, see what he thinks. All right, so again, this is the game colors, black. And it's not going to stay black. I'll dry brush it with some red. I have had a good dose of coffee this morning, so hopefully I'm not too shaky. I learned that the hard way several times that don't drink a lot of coffee on the days you're going to be hand painting. Luckily, this stuff is easy to clean up with water. That is before it dries. After it dries, it's tough. I think on the first Hellboys, I used watercolors on the hair, And that works. They dry really quick. So they can get kind of gummy real fast when you're doing stuff like this, or maybe you need a little more time to work. So I'm finding that these Game Workshop colors are really good. Are those made by Vallejo? They are made by Vallejo. See, I didn't even know that. I should know that. I don't. I wish I could play music in the background, but if I do, Facebook will, or not Facebook, YouTube will pull my video for copyright infringement. I think that's why maybe some of my old videos aren't up there anymore. I think I had music playing in the background or used it as a, as part of the soundtrack. And they the past like 3 to 4 years, they really cracked down on copyright infringement, which I'm glad they have. It's like, I'm a photographer. I don't like when people use my stuff without paying for it or asking permission. So I get it. Okay. So goatee. I'm not sure if you guys can see what I'm doing. And I think I mentioned this in another video. I did order another camera. So this is the Yi Lite action cam. It's their cheapest new model. You can get them cheaper, but they're like the older models. This one came out, I think, last year, and it's basically it's like $100. And for $100, it's a great camera. I've been really enjoying being able to kind of clamp it wherever I want. And I think I'm able to show what I'm doing better. But it is very wide. But I did get another Yi, but I got the 4K Plus, which is their 4K camera. It's their top of the line. It'd be like equivalent to like the newest GoPro. And in some cases, it's better than the new GoPro as far as like video quality for. But it has an audio input. I could do an audio input on this one, but I have to take it apart and like hack the board, which doesn't look too hard. Basically, you take out the internal mic and wire in a port for an external mic. But I figured just to go ahead and get the the 4K camera, and now I'll have two cameras. I can shoot two cameras at once if I want. It'll add a little to my, I don't do a lot of editing. I have been doing a little bit, but in the past when I shot my phone, I just shot, uploaded, because like last night I was working till I finished working on the Hellboys at 9, but I didn't go to bed till 1 because I was uploading videos. Now again, that was 3 videos that were all an hour or longer, but still. After I'm done working, if I don't get a video uploaded that night, it's an additional hour or 2 of work at least. And that's with my minimum editing. Some of these guys spend a lot of time editing. So I'm thinking of doing one or two things. Just making longer videos so I have less uploads, or making like Monday an upload day, showing what I've done over the weekend. And then maybe like, or maybe Sunday night would be a good night because we have things on Monday night with the family. So Sunday night would be an upload night, a Wednesday upload, and like a Friday upload. So 3 nights where I upload videos. So I'm thinking about doing that too, just because I've been getting a lot of great positive response on the build series I've been doing, which I'm glad it helps people. It helps me too. If I need to go back and reference something, it helps me. Okay, so now we're just going to go here and we're done. What's this? Oh, it's just Amazon telling me that my camera's going to be here today. Then we're going to go in here and do this part. If you're wondering what brush size I'm using, this is a 00. This is a number 2. I used to watch. I haven't watched him in a while. The Painting Clinic. I forgot the guy's name. He's a really he's a really good modeler, and he's great at he does everything. He does minis, he does sci-fi, does a little bit of everything. He's done some vinyl kits, which kind of sparked my interest in vinyl kits. But I like, I've learned a lot from him from hand painting, and basically he's like, use the largest brush possible for the job. Everyone thinks you need the smallest brush you can find. Well, And that makes sense because two things. You're going to have more brush strokes and you're just going to spend more time trying to cover an area. You know? So like right now, this I could probably use a slightly bigger brush. I do have a flat brush over here. But decided to go with this guy. I tell you what, my left arm is killing me. These things probably weigh, I mean, they're not heavy. They're probably 4 to 5 pounds, the torso. But when you hold it, I was holding these things all damn day yesterday. Like 8 hours I was holding these things as I was painting them. So, yeah, my arm was killing me. My left foot actually went numb. Like, I couldn't feel it. Because when I airbrush, I stand. Because there's no room for me to sit in my paint room. And even like when I was in the garage, I always stood and airbrushed. The only time I sit and airbrush is when like doing acrylics and stuff, which I'll do here at this workbench for like the guns and basically the rest of the kit will be acrylics, except for maybe the Fist of Doom, maybe some lacquers in there, but for the most part, the rest of the kit will be acrylics. The torsos, lacquers. 2 reasons plus one, it's just easier to get the colors I wanted. I find lacquers much easier to blend and fade. Acrylics tend not to atomize as well. The only exception to that is if you take the Tamiya acrylics, which you can thin with Mr. Color thinner, because it's actually not it's not an actual acrylic. It's very similar to Mr. Color, where it's a hybrid. So Mr. Colors, if you didn't know, is a hybrid lacquer acrylic. It's more, it goes more towards the lacquer end of the scale, meaning that you can't use alcohol to thin it, but alcohol will take it off will take it off. If you need to strip something, you can strip Mr. Color with alcohol. And then Tamiya paint goes more towards the acrylic end of the spectrum, where you can thin it with Mr. Color and acrylic thinner. And when you thin it with Mr. Color, it sprays really, really nice. It sprays like a lacquer. It dries really slow. So, you know, you get the property. It's going to dry a lot slower than if you use acrylic thinner, because, you know, acrylic thinner evaporates very quickly. So I did a couple years ago, and I did my 1/72 GM Sniper for a client. That was all with Tamiya paints, using the Mr. Color thinner. So I'm going to block this in, and then when that's done, I'll show you what I do around the edges to make it look like so it doesn't look like a toupee. So my arm's getting tired. I got to rest it for a second. I wish I was ambidextrous and I could use my left hand to paint, but I'm not. I've tried it before and it's not pretty. You know what I'm going to do? I'm actually going to put these guys back up on their torsos because I do not want to knock them. I want to have to try to blend the paint. I can. I blended it a little bit on one of these last night where I had where the airbrush kind of spit a little bit on one of the pieces. So it can be done. It's just, it's not the easiest thing to do because, again, all the layers. Oops. Got a little. Dang it. You know what I meant to I forgot to get at the hobby store. I got a few in here. These little hobby Q-tips. These things are awesome because they're pointy and they don't shed. So like I got a little boo-boo here. So I can get that real pointy and I can get there and be real precise on where I need to kind of remove paint or something. I have to get some of those. I stock up on those when I go to Eagle Quest every year. I buy supplies because I'm not a military modeler, and Squadron sells primarily military stuff. Now, although if they do have a perfect grade Millennium Falcon this year, I will be picking that up because I can get a pretty good discount on it. Buying it there. We'll see I'm not sure what their retail price on it is though. Okay, so what I think I'm going to do is I'm going to throw this on time lapse because it's the same thing, just blocking it in. Once it's blocked in, I'll come back. Okay, so they got it blocked in. I'm going to go ahead and block the other ones in too, and then I'll come back and show you kind of the blending, but it'll take about 10 minutes or so. Not too bad. So I'll come back after I got everything blocked in and show you what to do next. Okay, hey, turn that down, buddy. Okay, so I got everything blocked in. What I'm going to do is I'm going to come in and make this look like it's not a toupee. So I got a smaller brush here. This is, I don't know what size, it's probably like a number 1. And just gonna get some paint. I actually watered down my paint a little bit. It's starting to dry up a little bit, so I just add a little bit of water and take most of the paint off my brush. And it's sculpted in a way where it blends into the skin. So basically, I'm just gonna come in like kind of like this, trying to. Actually, I don't have enough paint on my brush. Let me get a consistency down and. I'll do it on camera. Basically, I'm just trying to make it look like individual strands of hair. Actually, this brush is too big. Let me get a smaller brush. I'm not getting the effect I want. Just kind of doing it, just it's too big. The tip's too big. Let me get a smaller one. Give me 1 second. Let's try this guy. The paint's a little thick. There we go. Need to go the other way. Get there eventually. It's like once I get the technique down, it works. I did it on the last Hellboy, but it's been a while. I have to go. I have to just bring the camera to show this. I have to bring the camera down real low so I can rest him on something. So I don't have a shaky hand and all that stuff going on. Shaky camera. There we go. Let's try that. Okay, so basically going to come in and I'm going to just kind of real lightly, just trying to use the very tip of the brush to make look like individual strands of hair being pulled tight from the top knot. There we go. Now we're getting it. So it's a cool effect. Relatively simple once you get it down. Kind of get a rhythm going down. This one is kind of make sure you're following the path, like the direction of the way the hair is being pulled, or to look right. but it's sculpted this way. I just don't pan all the way to the edge of the sculpt when I base it. I probably could do this. The reason I block it in first, then do this, is because I want to use a bigger brush for blocking in. If I got too much of my brush, I'll just kind of put some back on the kind of more base coat. I'm not sure if that's showing up or not. Just using real light, just using the very end of the brush. And if it goes past the sculpt a little bit, that's okay. Kind of adds to the effect. So got a little too much paint on, so just kind of empty it out for a little bit into the. It works better if it's a little thinner. A little bit of water. It flows better if it's a little bit thinner. So you kind of see that effect there. Hope you can see it. Makes it look like real hair rather than just a wig. You just go around the whole outline of the hair like this, following the sculpt. Good. And then once the hair's done, we'll seal it. Okay, so we got like the bottom hairline looking pretty good. So we're on the top hairline now. So a little bit. Let's see, I may not be able to show this too easily, depending on where I have to be to do it. So we get it from here. Let me get the camera a little bit higher. Okay, turn the right knob. There we go. Get there eventually. And we're on the top of the hairline. Water. Kind of same thing here. We're just gonna real lightly just kind of do this number right here, and there's a little hair sculpted right there. I'm just kind of hitting those. like that. And there's a few coming out of the top knot. So I'm just painting a little bit. Okay. Like that. And come from this side. Thinner paint. Get the opposite direction too. I find it bet easier if I kind of start on the outside, work my way in. I'm trying to go the other way. I don't know, it seems to easier to control and it looks more natural. So there's that. A little bit right here I get. Too much on my brush, so I'll just take some off. So that's pretty good. All right. So now let's blend in the sideburns and the chops. The sideburns, there's not a whole lot going on right here as far as blending, but we're going to attempt it anyway. The way it's sculpted is pretty solid, but underneath. You probably won't be able to see this on camera, but because I have to get this at a very specific angle to get to it, so. Again, you'll never see this unless you're looking up his nose, but I'm going to do it right. Right here. good. Do the goatee a little bit. Try at least. All right. The other side chop. I'm not going to do the others on camera. If I do, I'll do a time lapse because you guys get the idea. And it's hard to try to show this and be able to get it at the right angle to get it done correctly. Good, it's about done. And then I gotta do it 2 more times. Rinse and repeat on these guys. Basically, I don't want a solid line of black is what I'm trying to avoid. That looks kind of stupid. Alright, that looks pretty good. It's more like hair. Alright, so I'm going to call this one done, I think. Looks pretty good. So I'm going to do that 3 more times, and then I'll seal it. And then I'm going to decide what I'm going to do next. I'm just going to go ahead and finish the portraits, or I need to do this side a little more. Oops, a little too much right there. All right, I think that looks pretty good. I am happy with that. So we'll go on and do the next 3. I'll be back. All right, so I finished the hair. I sealed the torsos again. While I was drying, I'm going to go ahead and base coat the gloves on all the hands. I won't bore you with that, so I'll just put on time lapse and put on one of my awesome songs for you while I do that. Okay, so got all the hands base coated. That took, again, longer than I anticipated, but they're done. So what we're going to do now is I'm going to go ahead and get the leather pouches sprayed with the rest of their leather color. And this is base coated in Garage Kits US leather. And I'm just going to use the transparent leather tan to bring out the details. And again, this is not really too hard. I can spray out here in my workshop because it's an acrylic. And hopefully, we're not ready as usual. Get my cleaning pot over here. So I can shoot this stuff out here because I'm going to use low air pressure, and it's non-toxic. So you know, it's an acrylic. Got my Badger Chrome airbrush down here. I'm going to get it down to about 10 psi. Pretty good. So let me get my phone going so I can see what I'm doing. That's my live view function. I never set up before I start filming. I just start filming. That's it done. Get my app going. My Yi Action Cam app. Okay, so I'm just gonna put a couple drops in here at a time. I'm gonna low on this color. I need to get some more. Again, Jesse's colors are really good. They're hard to clean out of my airbrush. I have a hard time getting them out. Okay. I made the mistake of sending Leo a picture of the Hellboy. And he's going to tell me, he's going to show me like 20 different references that he wants to look like. Alright, so I'm going to try to do this on camera. We'll see if I can make it happen. Shaky cam, shaky cam. Alright. So, again, real low air pressure, about 10 psi. This comes out really, really liquidy. I mean, it's transparent, so I actually crank down my needle regulator so I can only bring it back so far. It's too far still. All right, maybe a little more. I want to be pretty tight. A little more. Right about there. So I got this crank down almost all the way where I can barely pull the needle back. And I'll do a little bit on camera, and then we'll do some. Hold on. This time I think next time. Leo is texting me back about Hellboy. Okay. All right. You can see I got them. They're looking good. They're getting there. Again, 3 of these at once is quite a task. All right. So basically, I'm just come in real tight. I'm going to hit all these lines and stuff. I'll try to do this on camera as much as possible. I'm actually going to break my skewer down so I can get closer. All my skewers are really long. And then I always try to see, like this already clogged up. It's already dry, so I have to open up my needle and shoot some paint out to get, there we go. All right, so we're gonna come in right real tight here on the line. Hopefully you guys can see it. And it's clogged up. Real slow. There's paint coming out. This is real subtle. Is that showing up or not? Actually, I'm going a little cross-eyed. Sorry, I may not be able to do this on camera just because of the angle I need to be at. coming out. It's just real, a little bit of time. So you got a little heavy there. So kind of get the idea there. Just trying to get the lines right now. It's going to overspray obviously some, but okay, it's kind of the effect we want. It's getting clogged up on me. Come on. See what happens there? You just kind of want everywhere. So I'm going to try to get that up before it dries too much. There we go. Probably because I'm trying to do this on camera. I can't really see what I'm doing. Maybe let's do one on camera. Get clogged up. The dry tip's really bad. Hold on. Got a little bit of what's on the end of the needle. And I'm going to try just to leave the needle regulator loose. There we go. That's looking good. Once you get a rhythm down, it goes easier. Kind of finding that rhythm. That's looking pretty good. Go. You can hear it dry tipping. Just going to do this real loose and kind of let it go where it wants to go. And then what we're going to do is we're going to come back and hit these top parts pretty hard to get a different color going on. Kind of messed up, so I'm going to wipe it off right away. It's okay. I'm just going to do one on camera because, as you can tell, this is a slow process. Okay. So I'm just going to kind of come around and back off a little bit. Start on the edges a little bit. Okay. I need to I may have to redo this one. It's not going as good as I thought. We'll see what it looks like in the end. And I basically just want to get these guys a little darker right here. See it just dry tip and then one everywhere. Yep, I'm gonna do this one over, but you get the idea. It's just too hard to do it while I'm on camera because I can't get the angle. So I'm gonna do these off camera and then show you at the end. Okay, so this is what it looks like when we're done. And so the dark leather, basically I just stayed on top of that and just really lightly built up the leather color with the airbrush. I'll go and do some hand painting on those little rivets and stuff later. But yeah, so it's basically the treatment. And I also come around and I also darken up the edges just a little bit. And I'm having to clean my tip off quite a bit just because the low pressure. And so I just come in as I get way back and I just kind of darken it a little bit. Just kind of around the edges to get it a little more wear, but that's really about it. So I'm going to keep doing those. I got like 12 of these to do. They take a while. So we'll come back after I'm done with those. All right, so after about 2 hours, we got all the leather sprayed on the pouches. And looks pretty good. Let's see if we can get this to focus. Maybe. Hello. Anyway, so here's those two like that. Now these will get sealed, and I'll go and I'll paint the little rivets metal. Probably tomorrow. I'm going to probably call this work in progress done for now. And actually get to bed at a reasonable time tonight. Instead of like 1 o'clock. It's 10 o'clock. And then here are the other two. Again, that's all just done with the airbrush. Getting closer, increasing the amount of, clear painting, putting on certain areas to get the different tones. So just, it takes a little time. And a few of them I had to go back and kind of respray the base coat because I messed up or wasn't happy with the way things were going. So a few of those I had to do that on. Like on this one, I'm seeing that overall's a little light compared to the other one. So I'm going to go in real quick and my tip is constantly getting a dry tip, so I have to go in there and clean it. Oh, I'm out of paint, surprisingly. So like this guy, it feels kind of a little light overall, so I'm just going to go in here and backed off way far, and I'm just kind of missing it on a little bit. A little light. Doesn't take much. Like that. Not you're going to see the backside, but yeah, it was way too hard to do this on camera. I had to get like real close to my face because sometimes my airbrush was literally like that close to the piece, like within a few centimeters. So virtually impossible to do while on camera unless I have a head mount for my camera, which I may get. Even with an action cam, it'll still be wide, but at least you'll get to kind of see my point of view. So I'm just kind of going through and looking at these again. Maybe this one looks a little flat, so we're gonna again real light from a distance. Try to give it some more shape. It's just kind of darkening the corners a little bit, like it's kind of worn. But yeah, so that's the leather. I actually really like doing it. It's a fun. It's slow, but I really love the way it looks in the end. So it's something I enjoy doing. I love the end results. The hard work pays off as far as what it looks like in the end. Now when I get to the belts, that'll be a completely different process. I'll be using watercolors and basically stippling on watercolors, and I'll show that process. Again, it's another slow process, but it looks really good in the end. And the cool thing about it is that not that it really matters, but when it's all done and said, it actually feels like leather. When you put the final seal on it, it actually has the feel of leather. It's kind of cool. Kind of a little technique I kind of came up with myself. I was doing the Captain America kind of by accident. But yeah, that's it. So I'm going to seal those and call it a night. And that's the end of this work in progress, which is number 6. So next work in progress, let's see what we got going on tomorrow night. See what's going on with the family, and then see if I work on these tomorrow night. Really all that's left on the torsos, other than the Fist of Doom, are the eyes. So I may tackle those tomorrow night. Otherwise, I may tackle the Fist of Doom, which require masking alarms. I didn't want to do any more work on these tonight because I just sealed the torsos a few hours ago, and I wanted to give them a really good chance to cure. But yeah, everything's looking good. That's a big step, actually, getting the leather done. Because again, another slow process. So yeah, thanks for watching, and we'll catch you guys next time. Bye.